Howdy, knitter friends. This is Greg, Greg Cahoon. I'm Knitting Daddy. You can find me on Ravelry as Knitting Daddy, and I have a blog, knittingdaddy.com. Hello, Christine. It's good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. I was just working on my latest blog for publication tomorrow morning, and so I thought I would have some fun with Periscope. And I was looking at a lot of the scopes that were out there, and over the weekend, a lot of people were doing gateway knitting information. And so I thought, hey, that sounds like fun. I'll gather some of the toys that I did when I first started knitting. And hey, Bay Area knitter, good to see you. Hey, Kristen, good to see you. And I figured I'd gather some of the toys. And so, hey, everybody, picture of me here. Figured I'd gather some of the toys that I had done when I first started knitting and show you what's going on. So first toy I ever knitted, and he is a scary little bear. I knitted this toy when I was thanks. This is I had only been knitting for a few months, and I got a book from Michaels, and oh, thanks. He's not too scary. You're right. I got a book that from Michaels, and one of the reasons I bought the book was this pattern was in it, and it was for this bear. This bear is done in pieces and seamed, so we've got the entire body is one piece, and then all of the appendages are pieces, and they're stuffed, and I overstuffed him, so he's really pudgy. He seamed up the side of the back, so you can see that seaming up the back. This was before I knew how to knit in the round, and then cute little eyes, mouth, and nose that I was trying to get my thread working well. Thank you for all the hearts. Anyway. Knitting toys was something that I was pretty interested in learning how to do once I started knitting, because the main reason I knit is for my daughter. Oh yes, it is so fun to look back. I went to my daughter's toy chest and pulled this out of the chest just before I started scoping tonight, because I remembered, hey, this was one of the first things that I did. And she enjoys playing with him. She doesn't play with him a whole lot, but she does enjoy playing with him some. And the ears were a lot of fun. They were done like this and then sewn on separately. So a lot of fun, and it came out quite cute and kind of scary. But anyway, that's just me. But anyway, so this was my first toy that I ever knit. But shortly after I started knitting, I had heard about the designer Susan B. Anderson, and I love her designs, and she is primarily known as a toy designer, although she has designed shawls, beautiful shawls, and hats and mittens and other garments and all sorts of stuff. But one of the things that I had first heard about was her design. Hopping into the frame now, doop 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 doop, is Ribbit. He is a frog knitted out of Spun Chloe yarn, and she designed this toy when she was writing the Spun Chloe blog, and I'd heard about it on several podcasts that I had started listening to. Yes, thank you, Bay Area Knitter. I do think he is adorable. And one of the things that is super cool is his belly here is stuffed with a tennis ball. You start at the bottom and cast on a small number of stitches and do some increases, and so that creates that increase. It kind of looks like the triangle stuff coming out of there. And then when you get to about this high up or so, you poke a tennis ball inside of it. And then you finish knitting around the tennis ball and join it up with the head. And so then you've got, I can kind of squish it in. So then you've got a tennis ball. It's like a tennis ball cozy. And you can check my project page out on Ravelry. My Ravelry ID is Knitting Daddy, just like my user ID. And yes, um, animism, he does bounce. I'm sorry that I probably butchered your name. He doesn't bounce very high because I used an old tennis ball that had lost a lot of its bounce. Um, and uh, and then of course the yarn does. Okay, Anna, thank you. Um, and of course the yarn does absorb some of the bounce as well. This is the chair, but you can see it bounces a little bit on a soft chair. But on the pavement or on the hardwood floor, he'll bounce quite a bit. And of course, you can throw him and he'll bounce a lot. Um, and thank you, Anna. I think he is really cute. His head was a lot of fun as well. Turn him around here, and so you can see you kind of do it. You start down at the bottom and go around, and then when you get to one end, one side, you do one side while you keep these on hold, and then come to the other side, so that give him those bumps there. And you go ahead and give him cute eyes and a mouth, and then the arms and feet and legs. You've got I-cord arms, so it's really, really easy. This was actually my first I-cord project as well. And then the hands. Let me put this up against the white background so you can see it a little better. It comes out, and thanks, Ruth. Yeah, this was one of my first face embroidery projects, and I think it came out just fine. But you can see the hands and feet, they're all done the same, and so you kind of make this little triangle and then make 3 little toes or fingers on them. So he is super cute, so fun to play with, very durable. We've taken just like drag him by his arm, or give him to a 2-year-old or 3-year-old, and she'll drag him by his feet and everything. And he's a fun toy, and the Sputtering Chloe yarn that he's knitted out of is very durable yarn as well. So that's a lot of fun. I've knitted this project twice. This was the first time I did it. The second time I did it, I donated it for a charity auction, and so that was fun too. I'll probably knit him again at some point because he is so much fun, and he has a sibling who is bouncing in. Oh, hello, hello, hello. I am Rabbit. So Ribbit and Rabbit, they're thanks, Anna. Well, I'll have to check out Ninja Chickens because I love toy knitting, and I'll tell you what, toy knitting is so much fun. It's very enjoyable because it's you can usually finish them quickly, and so many little techniques are built into it. A lot of the toys now are seamless. These both were in parts, the arms and feet and were done and sewed on. And I don't mind the sewing, but some people do, but you can find a lot of toy patterns that are seamless. But anyway, Rabbit has the same general idea that Ribbit does, stuffed with a tennis ball, and he's got little pom-pom tails. Yes, Casey, I don't crochet, but I have seen a lot of great crochet toys. And when I do start to learn to crochet more, I'm sure toys are going to be what pulls me in. And yes, Ninja Chickens, I can follow you now. I am following you, great. Yeah, my daughter does love playing with the toys that I make for her, and I know as she grows older, she'll appreciate them even more. It's got a little pom-pom, which has seen some wear. I might need to stitch this up a little bit, but that might have been the first pom-pom I ever did too. I'm not sure. And cute little ears. I love how they are gathered in at the top, and or at the bottom rather, and really do create that concave, texture that you have in an ear. Swirl them around. The back looks pretty much like the back of the frog, except with ears. My mother-in-law gave him him or her. I don't know if this rabbit is a boy or a girl rabbit. Gave her the ribbon, and I love the face, the eyes, make it look like a sleepy little rabbit. So anyway, those were some of the first toys. This was the absolute first toy I ever knitted, and these other two were some of the other first toys. And before I sign off, I will introduce you to the toy that I am knitting now. Coming on in. Hello, I'm a little fox. This is also a Susan B. Anderson pattern called Fox in a Vest, and I just finished his face yesterday. I put his nose and mouth on yesterday. So he's got a nice little point here coming down, and beautiful safety eyes and little ears. So cute, I think. And then I'm working on the body right now, so that is what's in the work. Thanks, Jess. I love him too. Hopefully I will finish the fox within the next couple of weeks so that I can enter him into the state fair. North Carolina State Fair is in the middle of October, so I think I should be able to finish him without any problems. But yes, anyway, that's really all I had tonight. Maybe these pictures that I've started to upload for tomorrow's blog post will have uploaded by now. And again, I am Greg. I'm Knitting Daddy on Ravelry, on Instagram, and yes, Ninja Chickens, North Carolina is awesome. Good to hear you're an NC also. You can see my blog at knittingdaddy.com, and I will also be doing another Periscope broadcast on Tuesday evening at 5:30 Eastern. I will be broadcasting from the Central Carolina State Fair, the exhibit hall, where several of my items won some ribbons this year, and I'll be looking at those as well as all the other great items that were entered in the fair. So please tell your friends and stop by again. So thanks again. Check me out on knittingdaddy.com, Knitting Daddy on Instagram and Twitter, and on Ravelry. Have a good night, everyone. Y'all take care.